Hi, I'm
Hi.
Sarah Buffington. I'm with Ambridge Heart and Soul. What is your name?
I'm Roberta Ellis.
It's nice to meet you. Do you live in Ambridge?
I used to. Now I live in Leetsdale.
Okay. How long did you live in Ambridge?
Oh, probably about 10 years, off and on.
And
My mother's family is from Ambridge area, so we were back and forth quite a bit.
Okay. When did you move away?
Probably in the mid-60s.
Oh wow, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
But you come to Ambridge a bit?
Well, like I said, my grandmother and my great-grandmother lived here, so we were always visiting.
Do you still come around Ambridge a bit though?
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm right in Leetsdale now, so I'm back and forth here to the library and Old Economy, different events, and we're talking about the sidewalk painting. That's my cousin Marlon.
Oh, okay. Great. We interviewed Marlon. That was nice. So what we already talked about what brought you to Ambridge and why. Do you know why your family came here?
Well, my great-grandparents came here in the late 30s and early 40s when my great-grandfather got a job at J&L. And then my grandparents worked there, and when my parents were in high school, my grandparents moved to Pittsburgh, and that's where my parents met, because my mom's family came from here, and my dad's families have been in Pittsburgh for about 100 years or so.
Oh wow. A long time. So what do you believe the staples in Ambridge are? Such as people or places, food places?
I'd say pretty much the people.
Can you tell me more about that?
Well, like I said, I've had 3 generations of family here, and most of the people that I know from the Ambridge area, same thing.
It's about family.
Yeah, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, they all live here. Some of them still do. A lot of the people that I went to high school with are still in the area or came back to the area. I came back in '83 when my grandmother was in bad health, and I came back to help take care of her and ended up staying and bought the house across the street, and I'm still there.
So do you think a lot of people come back because of family, like take care of family?
It's like one of the companies my husband used to work for in D.C. They had a lot of engineers from the Pittsburgh area, and he said quite often if they had somebody who'd been there for a year or so and left, it was because they were moving back to Pittsburgh.
Huh. Do you have any favorite food places in Ambridge? Or places to shop?
Favorite food? Oh. Little Athens, Knees Walk. There's a couple places up on Des Avenue my husband likes to go to. And of course the fish fry at Good Samaritan. That's kind of a family place. I used to live right on the corner of 7th and Merchant when my kids were little, and that was their place to go for any event they had with food. My kids were there.
Yeah, food's what brings a lot of people together. It's wonderful. So what would you like to see for Ambridge in the next 5 years?
I'd say more small businesses coming back. Community involvement's pretty good, so to keep that going.
Why are small businesses important for you?
Well, that's pretty much the foundation of our small towns, Main Street kind of businesses. I just went to the farm show this weekend, and I'd say that the smaller family businesses are what basically keeps our economy going. And without that, everything else kind of falls apart. And I know from my own experience of growing up around here, when the mills shut down, that took out everything, because there were so many of the smaller businesses that depended on the workers, and without the big companies, then the smaller companies started dying out. But if you don't have that kind of a foundation for the economy, then you need those smaller businesses to support the community, and the community to support the businesses.
So is there anything else you'd like to see in the next 5 years for Ambridge?
No, it seems like it's moving in the right direction already.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. So more of the same, probably.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite memory of something in Ambridge?
Nationality days.
Tell me about Nationality Days.
Yeah, that
what
was
you liked.
Just the whole, I guess the whole thing, having the entire community shut down the main street for that week, and everybody hanging out together with the food and the music, and even being forced to volunteer at the church, because my grandmother's church always had a food booth at Nationality Days, and I got commandeered into making pies and manning the booth on a few occasions. And the music, dancing, just
feeling.
Yeah, just the whole ambiance. Like I said, just shutting everything down from 4th Street all the way up to 11th Street, and the whole city coming together in that one place for 1 week.
So coming together is important for you. Yeah.
And all of the school field trips to Old Economy. As I was telling my grandchildren about that, we had the one field trip every year. We'd have to go to Old Economy, and what is the other ones that I always liked? The Bronze Bakery on North Side. That was one of the big field trips. And the Heinz plant. I mean, you couldn't get through 3rd grade without going to the Heinz plant.
So tell me what you liked about going to Old Economy on field trips. Why is that important to you?
Mainly the history and the fact that this community space exists, because a lot of places that I've lived in different parts of the country, they don't keep the old stuff. And having this still here for close to 200 years now is amazing. That it's still in one piece. I mean, my grandparents lived right down the street for decades, and that was part of the fun of coming to visit Grandma, was that we could go over to Old Economy or go up to Big Swickley Creek. And we used to swim there and fish there and hang out in the park.
So those are some good memories for you. What do you want the next generation or future generations to experience here when they grow up?
Well, I've already raised one generation here. And now we're working on the grandchildren. Matter of fact, one of my adult grandchildren is moving back to the area this spring. So we've already got the next batch coming into the town or into the area. More of what I experienced growing up here, the sense of community, of everybody working together and doing things together. The parks, the library, the educational system's pretty good here.
Can you tell me more about why that's important to you?
Well, growing up with 4 generations in the same neighborhood, I think the sense of community has always been important. And having that foundation to just not only to fall back on, but to lift you up to the next level has always been important.
It's important to have people leaning on each other to help out and make it all work.
Well, that's what human beings were built for. We are communal animals, and we need that group to survive, because alone we don't do well. We need that group to keep us going.
Is there anything else you'd want to talk about, Ambridge? You said you were very outspoken, so here's your chance.
That pretty much has covered everything that I usually speak out about.
Well, good. Thank you so much for sharing and being a part of Ambridge Heart and Soul.
I try.
I like that. Thank you.